Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear fellows, Assalamu alaikum. Dear fellows, if you are a fresh graduate, you very lately have got your university degree and you are out for a job, this video can be very helpful for you. I am Samar Kamal Fazli. I am serving as Assistant Professor in Department of Humanities at Comsat University, Lahore. And today I am going to tell you some basic tips on developing impressive, crispy, job-winning CVs and resumes for you. I will start my video with the frequently asked questions. Normally people ask what type of CV should they write. There are two types or two styles which are very much in vogue in fashion nowadays. Basically it is the information requirement of your prospective employer that tell you which CV to go for. If your employer is interested in knowing your track record, history of your employment and your qualification, then chronological resume should be your choice. And if he is interested in knowing your skills and the way you have applied those skills in your previous work history or your academic life, he is asking for a functional resume which is built around your skills. You can still go for a combination of the both. Towards the end of my presentation, I will show you such type of a resume. Then comes the question of the length of the CV. Your CV should go maximum up to 2 pages. If it is going beyond that, you need to condense your content. Then which font type is suitable? Arial, Times New Roman, and our own font, Calibri font, they are very good. And personally I like Times New Roman. It is very simple and very professional one, very powerful one. And you can experiment with the size of your font. You can experiment between 10 to 12 for content and 14 for your headings. Then you can paste a photograph on your CV. Yes, you can, but sparingly. Normally communication gurus tell that you should not send your photographs even if you are photogenic unless you are asked for it. But in Pakistan you see that it's a fashion nowadays. People take their photographs very easily. They work on it and they are very positioned very well to send their photographs along with their CV. Whenever you are selecting a photograph, it must have a big cheesy smile on your face, because smile communicates energy, enthusiasm and commitment for getting the job. You can add colors to enhance the optical appeal as well. This has been a question for quite a long time, but you need to consider one thing. Your CV is going to be printed for your interview, and if you use too much colors and if the use of color hampers the readability of a printed version of your CV, then please stay away. I would recommend you need to go for simple black and white CV. Should I use tables in my CV? Yes. Not at all. Not at all. Students here tend to use tables to display their academic qualification, their education. It's never advised. Please stay away from tables in your CV. Then the question is which verb form should I use for listing my achievements and responsibilities? For the responsibilities and achievements that you have done in your past, use simple past tense using second form of the verb. This would be the major thing that you would be using. And if any of you is currently holding a job, discharging his or her responsibilities, you need to take the first form of the verb, the present form of the verb. Then can I submit the same CV to many organizations for a job? Yes, you can, but you need to work on the objective statement or career objective or career goal, whatever you name it, because no two jobs are equal and no two organizations are equal. In your perfect objective statement, you need to mention the job title you are applying for, and you can also mention the industrial sector where you are applying. You may list down a few of the skills that are required for their target job as well. The point of difference basically is the objective statement. What about the personal information and hobbies? Please do not include your personal information in your CV, and your hobbies and interests should also stay out of your CV, because mind you, people normally ask about your interests and hobbies, and if it is difficult for you to defend them or to detail them in the interview, please don't include it. Be safe. Now I will tell you about the context of writing CV. There are a few considerations you need to bear in your mind when you settle down to write the CV. All human beings, like all CVs, are identical, I must say, for the body parts they have. Yet they have different personalities and they are different individuals. So should be your CV. So construct your CV in such a way that it reflects that image of your personality that you yourself like to communicate, right? Your CV reaches the organization before you actually go or join that organization. So your CV is your representative. It's a brochure of your own self. Make it excellent, make it appealing, make it impressive. Never copy from any other CV that is for someone else applying for some different job in some different organization. So please do not copy the content of CV. You can see, you can read as the model, but do not copy the content from other people's CV. And last and the foremost thing of this slide is everything that you include in your CV should be verifiable, it should be true, and you must be able to defend and verify through your documentary proof during an interview. I have given a little formula for the competition of winning a job. You see, it's like a race, and in your race you always have single formula: on your mark, get set, and go. These basically are three stages of writing the CV. On your mark stage, you have to research the target job. You have to pick best things that you have done in your past. You have to relate the two, and you have to select. This is the on the mark stage. In the get set stage, you need to select a simple and professional template for CV. Your MS Word and your internet both can be very helpful in selecting those templates, but they should be simple, they should be professional, they should be simple as well. Then in the go stage, in the last stage, you have to pick the things that you have chosen for your CV. You have to transform those templates into a presentable CV, revise it and present it. Now comes the different parts of a CV. Your contact details always at the top, followed by an objective statement or a profile summary. Your references are at the last. These are fixed places of these three things. In between, you can experiment with the order the way you like, or the way you think that your reader would like to read. Now, how to paste these things in your CV? Well, before that, I have got a very important thing to tell you. It's about what recruiters basically love to read in your CV. They like to read the objectives plus dates when things happen and accomplishments, then information about the skills that apply to the job, less about job history and past duties. Valid information, verifiable information, presented in a reader-friendly, easy to read, attractive style. That will make a difference basically. The candidate's address and phone number, they love to read that in CV also. Most of the people include that in the letter, in the job letter, in the job application letter, but they forget to include that in CV. Your CV is a separate document. It must start with your contact details. Then they say that, well, the applicant must realize that the employer is looking for red flags and making sure that there aren't any red flags on your CV. If you have any gap in your studies or in your employment, please explain it simply in a short statement. Meeting the qualification for the job is the best thing that they like, and qualifying experience and continuity in the work history, developing an aptitude for the target job again is something that they like. Then comes the part of different parts of CV. Heading and objective. In heading and objective, basically you list down your name, your address and your phone number. You include a career objective or a targeted job. It should not be a sweeping statement. It should not be a lifelong objective. It must be a specific objective, short term, short living for the job you're applying for. Then comes education. Education includes your name of the degrees, date of graduation and institution. You need to list down your major courses, and you can also give the CGPA. Do not inventory all the courses, select the relevant and mention them. Then comes the work experience. You need to list your previous jobs. You can see in the slide, the example is very good. You can see how the work experience has been included. It's a fairly a good example, right? Let's see what's in the next slide. Then again, you need to describe your experience. You need to use action verbs to summarize your achievements and skills relevant to your targeted job. Look at the examples. There are two entries at the display in this slide, and both the entries are starting with the second form of the verb. Devised and presented, checked and updated, managed. These words, your recruiters like to read in your CV. Then comes the non-technical skills, evidences of communication skills, management and interpersonal skills. They should not be the empty slogans. You need to quantify them. You need to tell the time when you exercise those skills, the way this boy has done. Then you have to highlight your computer skills as well, and you need to show that you are well-rounded. You possess a lot of skills like teamwork and leadership and reliability and loyalty. The way you put them on the page basically makes the difference. How they should be displayed on the page, let us see in the next slide. That you are supposed to find in the model document I am going to show. For now, let me sum up the additional tips also. Be sure that your name is at the top in the first line. Do not give the heading of CV or resume at the top of your resume. Your reader, after reading your name and looking at the information boxes on your CV, he will assure himself that it is a CV of a prospective candidate, prospective colleague of that person, right? Emphasize keywords, nouns that describe traits, skills and characteristics from job description. Then avoid unusual typefaces, underlining, double check for parallel phrasing. What is parallel phrasing? If you look at this very slide, well, all the entries are starting with the same grammatical structure, the verb, and the verb is in the first form. How many entries you make under a single heading, all those entries must start in the same grammatical structure. That is called parallel phrasing. Use abbreviations carefully. They might be familiar for you, but they can be unfamiliar for your reader. So please give full description and then use the abbreviations. Include only valid and operational addresses and telephone numbers. Project professionalism and quality. How would you do that? You need to avoid personal pronouns I and we. Normally we do not write full sentences in our CVs, and our information start with the verbs, not with the personal pronouns like I and we. Then the very important thing that you need to have some professional like me to give a feedback, positive or negative, on your piece of writing, which is called CV. That would be helpful, instrumental in improving your presentation. Now comes a few suggestions that you need to avoid. Basically, the things that you need to avoid while writing your CV. Your personal data. That's a major red flag. Typographical mistakes should be avoided, inconsistent punctuation should be avoided, and huge paragraphs that look like job descriptions. My dear, CV is not a place for huge paragraphs, rather even not for sentences. Resumes that show no research, not looking at the employer's need, they also go, they readily make their way to the dustbin. Omission in terms of dates and misspellings, that again is a bad thing, red flag. Long cover letters and resumes over 2 pages, they are also rejected mostly. Excess cosmetics, substituting form for the content, that is a negative point at your CV. A resume should look nice, but it should not go overboard. Not sending the resume to the right place and the use of tables are always discouraged. Here comes the bonus from my side. These are some objective statements which are really the wrong numbers, and you would find 95% of the applicant copying and pasting these types of objective statements. These are a big no. The third statement basically is not an objective statement, though it was turned up by one of my students. He copied it under the heading of objective. It rather is a personal profile, highlighting the skills of a person. It's not an objective statement. Now let's see the changed and positive version of your objective statements, the good ones. Look at the first one. It's very simple, involving the name of the vacancy the person is applying for, administrative position, right? And what type of administrative position, where he can use these things, right? He possesses certain skills and he is there for this type of job involving these skills. Then senior financial management position, it's a very simple statement, one liner, but mind you, this is for an executive position and for senior people. Your objective statement could go like the first one and the third one, right? And look at the profile summary. I found it, I came across this profile summary in one of the model documents when I was preparing for this slideshow. I really like that. I copied it and I have brought it for you. But please do not copy and paste this statement. This is for Bilal Sahab, who is not you, right? Be original. Well, here comes a CV. This type of CV format is very much in. The very first thing that comes to my mind after having a look at the CV, that the person has quite a good knowledge of technology and he is skillful also. But if you look at the content, there is excessive amount of content pasted, furnished on a single page. Now, if the reader has to search for something specific and he is trying to scan through it, he will have to grope through this document for a longer time. Nonetheless, the positive things about this is the way contact details have been given. It's very novel, very unique, and very much in nowadays. The way the person has mentioned the level of his skills by using a bar sort of a thing, and the language, the level of language that he possesses. These are really innovative things. You can also experiment with the format of your document, but again, you need to consider all those tips that I have just narrated to you. Now it's time to show you a model document. A student presented this CV to me, and the student basically is still in his 6th semester. His major degree is going on, it's in progress, yet he has done a lot of things. You need to go through it. I display it for the next minute. Look at how he has displayed the education, then the work experience. He has 3 major entries under work experience, though the boy has never been on a permanent job, but he has been utilizing his summer semester for internships and part-times. And all the things, rather the relevant things and the major thing that the boy has been doing, he has pasted, he has furnished, he has showcased them With the help of action verbs, you will find the second form of the verb over there, and he has quantified all his data. He has given the figures also. They make the impression very powerful. If you further scroll down, you will find something related to IT skills here, and in between IT skills and education, work experience rather, I find an interesting heading. Look at this. Most of you people must have been doing all these activities that this boy has mentioned, but very few of you might have ever thought of including those CVs in your those activities in your CVs. Excellent. I really liked this part of this CV. Then IT skills and the way he has used and applied these IT skills, and towards the end, references. Whenever you are writing the references, actually you need to seek permission from your referees, whose name and job title and the contact details you are giving, and then be sure that the contact details and the information is updated, and your referees also know that you are furnishing their information as your referee in your resume. Otherwise things can go wrong as well. Well, dear fellows, I hope that today's quick rundown through tips of CV writing would help you. And if you need further guidance and you need some feedback from my side, you can contact me whenever you like. At the start of this slideshow, I have displayed my contact details over there. Wish you very good luck for your future life. May you have your dream jobs, and may you make good earning for yourself and your family. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.